It has been a long time.
Comethazine dropped his biggest.
What came back is what's his name?
It's been 5 years since Comethazine dropped his biggest song to date, Walk with Lyrical
Does it sound
Lemonade.
good?
He's been on a real steady decline, and it got to a point where his own Reddit just became a place for people to hate on him. One comment said, bro dropped a mediocre album
That's a good
without
one.
any communication. Then go completely
That's
out
good.
the grid
Good.
without communicating or announcing
That's good.
anything. Comethazine music career started years ago during the SoundCloud era, but the way his career started wasn't in the regular way. Throughout the years, he had always listened to music, and one day he got to thinking, I got $200 in a mic. Let's try to rap. I ain't never made no music before, but we gonna see how it go. And Comethazine said this to XXL when he first blew up. I actually used to write. I flowed on some Joey Badass type music, but that wasn't going nowhere for me. So I was like, let me do some ignorant stuff. See this work. I didn't have a game or nothing, so I was always in my room, just recording. But my mama, she hated it. She would always yell at me, tell me to shut up, and I went to night school, so I would sleep all day and record all night after school. Crazy to think that he knew the internet thrived off negativity all the way back in like 2017, 2016.
That's
but
crazy.
Back then, Comethazine had the methods. So back in 2018, it was his feature on SoundCloud, and I don't know if it's still available or not, but basically you could switch the audio files to a song after it was already uploaded. But what happened was the SoundCloud page uploaded, bounced out with that By Not Mirror on the SoundCloud page, right? They let that sit for a minute. It's getting streams and streams and streams because that song hot at the time. And when the time was right, the song somehow got switched to a Comethazine song, making it seem like that was his song getting all them streams, in turn making the song get pushed more on SoundCloud. And then that's also playing on the human brain.
Damn.
They see a high number, they go click on it. I'm talking about it went #1 because of the song switch. And at first, people didn't realize until they started doing some digging. They realized that this one song had way more streams than any other song he had on the SoundCloud. And it was only a matter of time before the Reddit detective started tearing his whole little operation apart. Reddit post said this, so I noticed this rapper Comethazine a while back, and honestly, I've been a big fan of his music. It ain't nothing special, but he makes some nice SoundCloudish trap bangers that I can dig. Well, today I saw some people tweeting about his new song that had reached #1 on the SoundCloud charts. But wait a minute. I've been following this guy for a minute, and I ain't never seen him get more than like 200K plays on the song.
That's a lot.
Weird. So I go look around. Sure enough, his song Bands is #1 on SoundCloud. 10 million plays in the last 15 days.
Damn.
3 million plays in this 1 week. And with all that information he gave us, he started doing some digging. And somehow he stumbled upon YBN Namir post, right? He had posted this song, bounced out with that link to the SoundCloud version of the song. And can you guess where that link took the man on Reddit? Straight to Comethazine song Band. And this situation was getting so big at the time, it was whole articles on Comethazine. One point, Complex reached out to Comethazine peoples and they said this. I wish we could take credit for this because it gave Cole a lot of looks, but we think this was just a case of a fan who really wanted to get Cole some plays any way possible. We're appreciative of the look, Bosky, coming soon. But look, if y'all ever heard a Comethazine song, y'all hear how he talk and act. I don't think this was a fan that did this.
It must have been him,
but that ain't a fact. We don't know. But really,
it don't matter. He was gonna blow no matter what.
Nobody at the time, and all this
No matter,
was
he
getting
blew
was
it.
gonna help him.
That's all he
whether
wanted
it put
right
him in
there.
a good light or not. And I
He got
say
what he
this
wanted,
because
and then he
articles about an artist
he
gonna
kept
make people
saying.
want to go check out the music. And
One song,
people was liking it.
and
And the
then
thing
another
is,
one, another
Comethazine
banger,
was really built for success. Something I didn't even mention yet was just a few months back before all of this. October 2017, he ended up signing a contract
It don't
with
matter
Alamo
because
Records.
it's not like
gonna play a
his
big
one
part of his
song.
career.
That was the one song that blew up, and
all
then
this
never
going on
again.
at the time came with something not so positive. He was getting compared to every other rapper that was hot at that time.
Now, the question is, Comethazine and Tay-K, do they sound the same? Let's talk about it. But you might have heard about the Tay-K and Comethazine comparisons.
The
These guys
original
have been
crash
getting compared
out.
to each other for some time now. But I think Comethazine is the person who's
Comethazine
been
and
a little more the
Tay-K.
victim in this case. I remember when he was first coming up and the he sounds like Tay-K comments were constantly being brought up.
And to be honest, they do sound a lot. You can hear the Tay-K
They do.
influence and
They do.
Comethazine music hit. And a lot of the internet was going right along with that. One Reddit post from 5 years ago said this: is it just me, or Comethazine sound exactly like TK. I'm not a
About
fan or
back?
something, but bro, they sound alike. Both of them sound like each other, and they both rap about the same thing. Another Reddit post.
Okay.
Comethazine is TK and Smoke Perk's love child. And I ain't even mentioned that yet. Smoke Perk comparisons. They was coming in just as hot as the TK comparisons. And with the whole internet kind of coming at him saying he sound like this person and this person, they got to him. He had to get online speaking in mind.
When I posted that video of playing the piano and me rapping bands live, all you talking about was, you sound like TK. I'm rapping live. Do I sound like another live, bro? Like, no, this is my voice, obviously. No, at the end of the day, I with TK, with Smoke Perk, y'all compare me to. Y'all don't even know. Get nobody on the flow, nobody on the voice. Now I with TK. Yeah, but these goddamn comparisons gotta stop. We rock. Let me keep putting VVS's on my neck. Let me get a buzz down, ho. I mean, nigga, let me make my music, bitch.
And what y'all seen the kind of person he was, it was only like a matter of time before more
I don't understand why
came
people do
his
that
way.
shit.
But before any of that, he was still
People
going
that
crazy. He had
watch
Lyrical Lemonade
that
on his side in 2018, and that was the year where they pretty much put Juice WRLD on the map. So he was hot. And for years after this, he was just consistently dropping good music that people actually cared about. He announced he was dropping, people always would come to it. But as time went on, more and more problems would start coming in his life. For even more context, if you don't know, he would get on these beats and rap like he was so hard, basically just murder rap. And one day, out the blue, a video dropped of him from where he was a little kid doing a Disney Channel audition, where he was fake crying and doing all this acting. And when it came out to the internet, he started to get cooked. And I'm talking about it was bad. It was even streamers reacting to it. But eventually, he did come out respond. The damage was already done, though. And anyone
he tried to get his bag off Disney.
Had ammo. But
so
fast
what?
Comethazine out here doing a little promo.
A lot of people.
And he was real public about his stance on features. A stance on features that was really gonna hurt his career over time. I ain't even speak on it yet, but Comethazine was real anti-feature. Go through all his projects, you don't see a single feature. And his fans hated that about him. They felt like he was limiting himself so much by not doing these features.
He does features.
He definitely had the access. Think about who he was signed to. He was signed to Alamo Records. And you know who else is signed to Alamo Records? Lil Durk, Rod Wave, all these other artists. So if he would have went to his label and was like, look, can I get a Durk or Rod feature? Really sit and think how good that could have did his career. What if he linked up with Durk and dropped the hit? But at the end of the day, it's his career. If he don't want to do a feature, he don't got to do a feature.
What the fuck?
He was always anti-feature, and when he announced that his next project wasn't gonna have no features, his fans was mad. But something else came from this situation. Something else came from this one little post. So after he posted what he posted, another rapper that go by the name Sos Mula came out saying the exact same thing. That's basically like, look, my next project ain't gonna have no feature. And when Comethazine seen this, he was feeling like Sos was meat rock. And he called him something real disrespectful. Ooh. But before I explain that to you, make sure you join the Discord. Link is at the top of the description. Comethazine called Sos 6ix9ine.
I gotta vacuum up real quick.
If you don't know, 6ix9ine and Comethazine had some beef back in the day. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on it, but
I remember all that shit. Hold on, I'm gonna mute real quick because I'm gonna vacuum up. Oh hell no, that's mute. Alright, back to the video. Okay. Damn, now I got a broken plate on my desk.
But in the original version of Gummo, 6ix9ine did Sos Mula. You heard in the part where he was like, shout out, but this bitch. He was talking about Sos Mula. If you go listen to the old snippet, he clearly say Sos Mula. Now, back to Comethazine and Sos. They got the beefing online, and Sos Mula started trolling with the little Disney interview and even dropped a diss track named Bosky K. And for context, Bosky was like Comethazine whole brand at the time. He had a whole album series under the name Boss. And I guess the beef was affecting so bad, he got on IG Live talking about the situation.
Little peasant, little. And you know what the
I never heard of this guy ever again, though.
I don't be starting with nobody. I be minding my business.
I be minding my business.
I never heard of this guy.
always on my.
I
That's the
listen
only
to
reason I'm
Comethazine a
trolling.
bit.
And I'm trolling because this ain't no rap beef. This
What?
ain't gonna ever do nothing to me. You can't ever have a show in New York. I dare you. I'm getting flocked the up, nigga. Dead. I'm not one of these SoundCloud face tat niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man,
Nah.
little army
They
boy.
damn
Like, all you
bad.
gotta do, my nigga, is look at the pics from when he was a kid, and then go look at my pictures when I was a kid. We come from two totally different backgrounds, my boy.
Don't
See, I
really
can't
mean
beef with no like that, bro. That nigga's a bitch.
But problems ain't just stop at beef. People started to realize something about Comethazine. Something people realize about a lot of rappers we listen to today. He sounded the same on every single project, every
just his,
single
like,
feature, every single song. And it wasn't nothing different about it. People got tired of the same old TK sound and started to distance themselves from Comethazine music. And it was obvious. He went from millions and millions of views to not nearly as many. People say one of the main reasons behind his disappearance is lack of people caring about him. People wasn't asking for new music how they was at one point.
I used to with Comethazine so heavy back in the day. However, I feel like dude is literally making the same song over and over and over, rapping the same way. Like there's no progression. Comethazine in the SoundCloud days was amazing, but I think it might have been just that his sound was new, right? But the fact that he didn't change up the flow whatsoever, and we get mad at artists like Uzi, Trippy for changing up their flow. But maybe, just maybe, if they hadn't changed their flow, we wouldn't have been fans anymore. Because I have surely fallen out of being a fan of a Comethazine. I honestly do not give one about his Comethazine project. He said, sorry, Comethazine local rappers. I heard from when I was out in the mix. It's not necessarily always the fact that Comethazine don't rappers. It's just that this dude always tries, like in real life, the way he raps, apparently he like acts like he's that hard dude, but he's actually soft or something. And I'm not trying to diss because I'm not involved in this.
And if you look in his past, on multiple occasions, he done been real disrespectful to fans just asking him about music. It was one situation that went viral that I can't even read y'all the messages. He was just talking that crazy. But a fan hit him up and was like, why'd you put this song instead of this song on the album? And he just started calling them all type of names. Then another fan page even had this to say. At this point, I lost all of my hope. Bro refuses to communicate with fans. It's almost like he hates us. Drake dropping the same week, so he effed. This is about to be the lowest we ever seen Comethazine at. And that was a fan page saying that. That was a fan who don't do nothing but obsess about Comethazine that said this about him. So that's really showing you the mentality of the fans. And if you take one look at his Reddit, it's all people saying the same thing. He don't care or respect his fans. And that's a sad thing to see because he do got potential. Like, there was a point in time where me and my homeboy was listening to Comethazine heavy. I'm talking about every time he dropped, we was sending each other album. We was sending each other songs that was hard. But eventually, he did fall out of my rotation. Now, it was partially because his music didn't change, but also he ain't dropped the album since like 2022. Granted, it was late 2022, but still, we in 2024. You an artist that's not solidified in the game and you taking this long to drop music. And you know, I'm gonna text my homeboy. I'm gonna ask him if he's still listening to Comethazine. I'm gonna put the messages on screen. But his career kind of ended up in the same position as the